Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. There was lots of wrestling. Obviously, on Sunday, we did have New Japan Professional Wrestling Dominion. But, all the segments that I have today, we're going to have to look forward to that tomorrow. I apologize, but we will get to it. A lot of stuff happened there. A couple, big bombshells in terms of, the independent wrestling circuit that I kind of wanted to dig into and how it affects WWE. So, can't wait to get into that. But yeah, I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Hope you guys got refreshed. It's time to just start a whole nother week. It is Monday. I know a lot of you guys dog on Monday, but you know what? Sometimes, I kind of like a Monday. A Monday is your chance to kind of, set the stage of how your week is going to go. And I know a lot of people, you might be looking at me around and like, you know what, Eric? You don't have the job that I have. You don't have the responsibilities. The people I work with, like I don't understand. You're right, but does it make it better if we're just down about it, if we're negative about it? Let's start positive. Let's start great, and let's dig into this podcast. Welcome to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to let you know, we have a huge show. We have a great show for you guys set up. We're going to start off with our WWE NXT BattleGround review, and then we're going to get into our WWE SmackDown review. And then we're going to get into our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. It's happening right now on the West Coast. Those on the East Coast and those who have, I think, DirecTV probably have already watched it. So, do not hit the spoilers. I record it. Can't wait to watch it. But, if you're going to, if you're going to talk about spoilers, make sure it's just really juicy and just, a subject about wrestling that we all can talk about and dig our teeth and kind of dig our teeth into. Thirdly, in our fourth segment, we're going to talk about my professional wrestling power rankings. We have men's and women's, and lastly, it's always Memorial Monday. We're going to remember and honor a WWE wrestler or a wrestler, just in all of wrestling, I guess. And we're going to honor them, just kind of talk about it. Today, we have Edward Umaga, Fat 2. But before we get into any of that, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Shoot your questions, your comments, your concerns. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like about this podcast. If I have a chance to get better, I accept criticism really, really well. I'm just kidding. No, but no, I do. Absolutely love. Obviously want to make this wrestling podcast something that we can create together. That's why I'm encouraging you guys to hit up chat, always ask questions, give me comments. Maybe you guys could definitely school me, 110%. So, or just give a shout out of where you're at right now. Like, be like, hey, it's Eric from South Dakota or something like that. Like, just something silly. Don't, this doesn't have to be too serious. I want you guys to have fun watching this podcast because if you're not having fun, then I'm not having fun doing it. Just kidding. Also, guys, it really does help the show. So please remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Shoot up the GSMCpodcast.net with your questions. It really does help the show, guys. And again, the link is at the GSMCpodcast.net. So, all right, let's go ahead and dig on into our first segment. We're going to talk about NXT BattleGround review. It was a good, all in all, I feel like it was really good. I feel like it was something that WWE NXT definitely needed. And I feel like their superstars, like they definitely delivered. So let's get into it. All right. So first we're going to start off with, we're going to dig into this right here. Also, at the GSMC podcast.net, shoot up your questions. Sorry, apologies. So we're going to put that bam and bam. So let's go on and start about and talk about our first match. We had match one, the inaugural Women's North American Championship of NXT. We had Meet Shin, we had Lash Legend, we had Kelani Jordan, we had Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Fallon Henley. This was a good match. I gotta be honest, the match seemed a little choppy at first, but it kind of makes sense. I don't think any of these girls have really, in picture to being in like a 6-pack ladder match. This match was huge. Obviously, it was announced by Ava, I believe like a month ago, to determine the inaugural WWE North American Women's Champion. And I thought it definitely lived up to the hype. There was a lot of actions. Definitely loved it. There was a part where Lash Legend was thrown onto a ladder and she just bounced off, and I was like, okay, she's done. So that was the moment I was like, all right, no more Lash Legend in this match. But surprisingly, even with the ACL injury, Sol Ruka was doing amazing. She was soul snatching everyone out of nowhere, which kind of, it's kind of remarkable, the move it is. she was doing it kind of like a Randy Orton kind of style, like kind of like an RKO, and you can see like it definitely in the professional wrestling spectrum. You can see a lot of people kind of using that RKO. People call it the cutter. You have the Cody cutter, and I think even in who in AEW uses that. It's gonna bother me. I know MJF uses it from time to time. But there's another wrestler I can't, it's going to bother me all night. But as soon as I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. So this was a good match. It was absolutely, I was shocked that Kelani Jordan was able to grab the briefcase but I think she deserved it. My main intuition was Jada Parker. Well, first and foremost, mine was Soruka because she was, I don't know, she's just been groomed by the company for too long. She had an injury in the past year that kind of sidelined her, so she wasn't able to kind of live up to her full potential for WWE NXT. Jada Parker just, I think she's like she's a real, she's a human, highlight reel in terms of WWE the women's division. I kind of thought Fallon Henley maybe could have been like the wild card. Like who knows that she could have definitely won. She's impressive. She's definitely impressive. I kind of thought Lash wasn't going to win, and I don't want to sound like a jerk, but dude, you broke up with Trick Williams. I'm just kidding. No, that has nothing to do with it. Michin, Michin, she just loves a good old fashioned brutal match. So you can tell that her fans got 110% of what they wanted. Kind of, what she kind of put into it is kind of like what she got even after the match where you saw Jordynne lift up the title, obviously she's the inaugural champion now. She had a smile on her face. She's cool. I think she's all in all, she's down for women's wrestling. And Jordynne, she's going to be challenged by probably all of these women in the following weeks of NXT. I would say it's going to go like bing, bang, boom. Probably you're going to be like, you're going to have Lash Legend come out and be like, look, like if I wasn't teamed up and thrown through a ladder, I would have, took you down. And if Kelani Jordan, if she's a fighting champion, she would accept it. She looks super happy. At first, when I saw it, I was like, I was a little like, yikes, but that's just, my pessimistic side. But she seems very charismatic. She seems really electric. She seems like she could really, I don't know. I don't really, I try hard not to compare WWE superstars to like legends and stuff like that because everyone's kind of, their own entity, especially in the world of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. But she's just like, she has that it factor. She really does. I don't want to, like I said, I don't like comparing, but she kind of reminds me of like a young Becky Lynch, how young Becky Lynch was so like in your face. She was so like, she was Captain Charisma of the women's division. And it kind of took a little while, for WWE to put a strap on Becky, but I honestly like the move by WWE NXT putting the belt on the Jordynne. Let's see how long this title, reign actually happens. She's gonna have to dig into some deep foes here. She's gonna have to probably defeat, oncomers that's gonna go after the WWE NXT North American Champion. Someone that just automatically comes to mind is, I would say, maybe Thea Hale. She's gonna be a huge JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, Ariana Grace. You're gonna have a lot of these women stepping up, and they're really really good. Natalia, Shayna Baszler did lose to Lola Vice, but Lola Vice is coming off of we're going to get into that. I think it's in the next match, or, we're going to get into that later. But, more of the story is Kelani Jordan is your inaugural WWE NXT Women's North American Champion. So congratulations to her. Absolutely 110%. All right, and next we have Axiom and Nathan Frazier successfully defend their WWE NXT World Titles against the Good Brothers. I felt like this match was well fought. If I had to put a grade on it, I would say probably like a B minus. A lot of high flying, but sometimes you can't really um, you know, I don't know how to explain this without kind of sounding like a jerk, but I'm not saying Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows are like not fit, or I'm not saying they're not athletic enough to kind of jump off the top rope and kind of hang it in the ring with the air, with people who have amazing, endurance, speed, stamina, and I feel like I feel like they kind of used that to their advantage. Axiom definitely did. And Nathan Frazier, he's a dog, man. He's dog. He's definitely, he never gave up 110% of the way. A lot of people counting these guys out. The Good Brothers were, favorited to win. If you read on CBS or if you read on, Ringside News, a lot of people thought that this was the time when, they were going to lose their NXT World Tag Team titles. And I kind of thought it was too. I kind of, but like I said before, I kind of thought when you saw Karrion Kross and AOP, attack them when the whole WWE draft was going on, I was like, okay, cool. Okay, this is where they're taking the WWE NXT Tag Team division. They want to give it to AOP and Karrion Kross, the Final Testament, but that didn't happen. So these guys are obviously the real deal. They've had about three. I think three. They're right at three title defenses. Successful title defenses. So it was absolutely. It was impressive. Absolutely, and focusing on the Good Brothers. So focusing on the Good Brothers, I thought it was their time to win. And a lot of people probably think about this, especially in the world of professional wrestling, that it was time for Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to kind of step out of, they've just been in the tag team division, not really doing much except like, promo- excuse me, promoting others. Promoting others. I like Luke Gallows. I like Carl Anderson. Obviously, they've had a lot of success outside of the WWE more, and so, but with the new heel turn that AJ Styles is kind of going in right now with Cody Rhodes, perhaps maybe they didn't want to give them the titles because maybe they can, challenge for the WWE, not SmackDown, the WWE tag team titles in the future with, A-Town Down Under. But I don't know. It's right now in WWE, it's kind of hard to predict anything because they that's the thing that they want the most is they want the art of unpredictability. That's what thrives in professional wrestling. If you become too predictable, you become like how it was when during the Vince McMahon era, where people were like, okay, we already know what to expect from WWE, so let's go watch AEW instead. All right, then you saw a Josh Briggs. You saw a Josh Briggs promo. I kind of like it. But then again, it was like, all right, like, so what are we supposed to take away from this? He was basically saying that he was doing really, really well and that it was time for his time to kind of fly the coop and try to be an independent wrestler, but it kind of seemed a little, not really that great. But, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Josh Briggs. I know he's kind of pushing it with Sean Spears. Sean Spears is kind of like the ultimate antagonist in terms of WWE NXT. He's already gotten under the skin of Javon Evans, which they're going to fight, I believe, on NXT on tomorrow. So a lot of good stuff, that happened. A lot in terms of promos and stuff like that as well. Next, we have the NXT Underground match between Lola Vice and Shayna Baszler. This match, honestly, I can't really speak on this match too much because I felt like, you kind of have the people surrounding the rings, the no ropes and, all that, no rope break, and then that's cool and all. But Shayna Baszler just deserves so much more. I don't know why she lost to Lola Vice. I know they're trying to push. But like, if you had Shayna Baszler coming from WWE Monday Night Raw, obviously she's in the tag team, title picture with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. But I just I don't understand why you would have Shayna Baszler lose, especially with her and Zoe Stark and the other tag team heading into a triple threat tag world women's tag team title match at Clash at the Castle. And then now you have this thing with Sonya Deville kind of lingering over their shoulders. It's I don't WWE has done a lot of characters wrong. They really have 110%. Shayna Baszler, definitely an example of one of them. And then you had her lose against Lola Vice. I'm not dogging on Lola Vice. I'm not saying that she's not talented. I'm not saying that she doesn't belong inside of the squared circle. But Shayna Baszler, especially during this match, which is kind of like her bread and butter, in the UFC Apex Center, I feel like this loss, it's a little personal. I feel like it's really personal. And I feel like after tonight, I guarantee Shayna Baszler came out of that arena hot, marched up to Triple H and be like, "Look, dude, what the hell are we doing with my character? What are we gonna do? I'm better than like half of these girls in these locker rooms right now. What are we gonna do?" That's when, like, perhaps maybe they might be grooming her up to be like like I said, a tag team champion. But I don't see Shayna Baszler as a tag team champion. And I'm not trying to jump over it and be like, the women's world titles are just a joke title. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to find justice of why someone as talented, someone as dominant, someone as good on the mic, someone as marketable as Shayna Baszler. I don't understand why WWE is not investing in her, her character. She's a very marketable person. And it kind of baffles me, but you had Lola Vice winning the match. Good for Lola Vice. Obviously I feel like she's going to be a person to challenge Kelani Jordan for her WWE NXT North American Championship in that. Next, we have the triple threat match for the WWE NXT North American Championship. Obafemi against Joe Coffey and Wes Lee. This match was exactly kind of what I thought it was going to be. Obviously, by this time, if you guys have been watching my podcast, I feel like when you have a triple threat match, it kind of gives an out for the champion defending to kind of have a nice little, have a nice little backbone. Kind of not, be like, hey, I don't have to win, but like these guys just need to duke it out. I need to come in and kind of, do my thing. He did amazing things in this match, definitely 1,010%. And Obafemi throughout the match looks like a champ. He looks like the champion. Like look at him right now, holding that title belt in his mouth. That's unbelievable. um, He's I don't know. At first it kind of did seem like a handicap match, which to all fairness, that Wes Lee and Joe Kofi needed to take out this this complete badass, this complete dominant force. This guy's like a juggernaut. This guy's like a juggernaut. I don't know if any of you guys played Call of Duty where you kind of had the juggernauts come on and everybody would be like, okay, focus on them. Like, and then, like, you would have to team up on him just to get him out of the title picture, but he did not let that get him down. Obafemi, definitely the real deal in the WWE NXT. Wes Lee, I'm happy he didn't win, and like I said before, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm a hater, but I just feel like it wasn't his time to come back to win the championship. I know what he's been through and back surgery and stuff, like couldn't walk. I get all that. I get all that. Yeah, and I I don't know. I just feel like in terms of WWE, in terms of professional wrestling, which I've loved so much, I feel like just him coming back winning the belt, it just would have been so cheap. This would have been so like. You know, and I kind of want to compare it to Mercedes Moné winning the AEW TBS Championship, but like once again, can't really compare apples to oranges, and we kind of got to speed up here. We are rapidly running out of time. So Obafemi looks like a champion. He wins, did what he had to do, absolutely killed it. All right, next we have the WWE NXT World Women's Championship match between Jordynne Grace, the TNA Knockout champion, and Roxanne Perez. This match actually looked pretty darn good. Looked pretty darn good. You got the TNA chants, which was absolutely remarkable. I wanted to see that. I wanted to hear TNA, and then people would be like, NXT, TNA, NXT. I feel like it's kind of setting up something for the future. That's why, like, when Jordynne Grace lost this match, I was like, oh my God, I really honestly didn't feel like that was the right move by WWE. But with the future kind of on hold here, maybe perhaps in NXT, War Games in Survivor Series, where you have Team TNA against Team WWE NXT, led by Roxanne Perez, the champion. It's gonna make for good. It's gonna make for good television. So they're grooming something up. This is exactly what this match was. It wasn't necessarily to show how Jordynne Grace was, kind of robbed of the opportunity of winning the WWE NXT Women's Championship, because that's how I kind of felt at first. But like seeing how they're kind of, teeing this up, it's absolutely pretty remarkable. And I'm getting chats from my man Little Fettuccine at 68. Is Sexy Red coming back soon, or was it just one off? I think she. I don't want to say, maybe it's like kind of like what TKO Holdings have, trying to make WWE a little like the UFC, because you kind of saw during the Battleground, they showed like, oh, this celebrity's here, kind of like what you see at a UFC fight night on Saturday, and usually kind of have like a star-studded like person like Sexy Red, or you kind of see more of a product that could be easily advertised based on some certain you know remarkable, maybe just, I honestly, I'm not against Sexy Red coming to the NXT, coming to WWE NXT. To Raw, SmackDown, yeah, it's different. I feel like it's different, but I don't know. I kind of liked it. I didn't really, hate on it too much. I thought she did a, pretty good job. She wasn't like super, into it where she was like out on ringside, and it wasn't really that much of a distraction. And the thoughts on Gulia, becoming Julia being part of the show, showing up to the pay per view. I honestly, I thought she was gonna make her in ring WWE debut at Battleground for the inaugural, NXT North American Women's Championship. I thought this was kind of like her alley and stuff like that. Um, so it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to kind of see how that. I see Sweetha. She said hi. Hi, did you know that there are 259 people watching you right now? If there is, obviously makes me a little more nervous. I'm just kidding. No. But hope you guys enjoy the show. Definitely love you guys. Keep chatting, comment on the YouTube page and stuff like that. Obviously, this is our podcast. We're a wrestling fandom. This is much of your podcast as it is mine. So, all right, rapidly running out of time. So Roxanne Perez picks up the victory. Jordynne Grace, having TNA versus WWE, kind of, future implications. So that's pretty badass. All right, next we have the main event, the finale. We have Trick Williams against Ethan Page, and I apologize. I know a couple of episodes ago, I think I called him Adam Page, the Hangman Adam Page. So I apologize, definitely apologize for that. But this guy's the real deal. I watched Ethan Page even on his first episode. Not when he attacked Trick, but the next one. He's just the man. He's just the man. And this guy's going to do wonders for WWE NXT. I kind of fell in love with him the moment I kind of saw him on screen. I loved his promo. I loved his intensity. And what I saw from the match, and I'm going to get into right now, I thought definitely 110%. I'm going to love this guy. This guy's going to hold the WWE title within the next 6 months. I guarantee you that. So we have the NXT, the World Heavyweight Championship. We got Trick Williams against Ethan Page. Ethan Page, he cut the line. But honestly, if you kind of think about it, is there anyone better than Ethan Page at this moment to cut the line or just to kind of fight Trick Williams? Like kind of what he was talking about with Ava. You brought me here to NXT. I was drawn to NXT because what do you have? Your top stars were recently drafted to the WWE with the WWE draft on Raw, SmackDown. You lost Hayes, Dragunov. You lost Dijak. You've lost, a number of these superstars. So Ethan Page is obviously, he's good on the mic. He's good inside the wrestling ring. There's no doubt in my mind that this guy's definitely the future of WWE NXT. Much like Trick Williams, this is going to be a nice little rivalry. I don't know how long it's going to go. Obviously, we don't have another draft until like another year from now, so it should be very, very interesting. Trick Williams, he's never successfully retained a title. He did on this one, and it was kind of crazy because I feel like Ethan Page was kind of straight from the top here. He was doing really, really well. You had the power slam through the announce table. And then, of course, Trick Williams hit him with the trick shot, able to get the 1-2-3 and retain the WWE NXT World Heavyweight Championship. But throughout this match, and kind of what I, talked about before, this match ultimately was lost because Ethan Page is, his all ego, which he's kind of known for. He took his eye off the ball. He had Trick Williams. He could have defeated him, but obviously that did not happen. Thus, successfully retaining the championship and still WWE NXT World Heavyweight Champion Trick Williams. So, guys, hey, honestly, do not go anywhere. Our next segment, we're going to dive into WWE SmackDown review. So, stick with me and we're going to have a great time. Thank you so much.